Jon is one of the, I think he's the best UFC fighter alive.
So what is that like being Jon? Like, what is that like thinking there isn't another man on the planet that could do anything to you in hand-to-hand combat?
You can admit that there's certain people that are much better fighters than you.
No, I'm not going to admit
Jon
that.
Bones Jones?
Yeah, I'm going to admit that.
Jon is what I would describe is there's human beings that have different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person. That's Jon Jones. Jon Jones is a bad guy who's trying to be a good guy. But that guy, if we were living 1,000 years ago, he would be on a horse with the biggest battle axe, waiting in the back, hacking heads off, and everybody would be running. And those people have always existed. These dominators have always existed. But Jon is like a genuinely sensitive, intelligent guy who's trying to do the right thing. But he's a fucking conqueror. He's a fucking conqueror. That's the thing that's inside of him that leads him to be the GOAT. And without that, you don't get there. You don't get that. You don't get a Mike Tyson without that. You don't get a Muhammad Ali without that. You don't get a Marvin Hagler without that.
If you tell yourself something and you really believe in it, and you have no doubt, you can do it. And that's how Jon Jones is. His mind is really strong.
The day he fought for the title, he chased down a guy who robbed someone and tackled him and held him until the cops came. And then went and fought Shogun and became the youngest ever UFC champion.
I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you. With Rampage Jackson, I kept having these nightmares that I would get knocked out. And no matter how the fight played out, I would always get knocked out, and it was always within the first 30 seconds of the fight. So, one scenario I'd run out, he'd run at me, swing a huge overhand right, and I couldn't avoid this inevitable knockout that I was going to experience in the first round. And I just couldn't avoid these images and actual nightmares of Rampage Jackson knocking me out. So on fight night, I felt like I was going to get knocked out, and I felt like this was coming for me. I felt like energetically, like I was getting these signals from a higher power that, like, Jon, this is going to happen to you tonight. And my idea to crawl towards him was the only thing that had it happen in all my nightmares, right? Because in every fight I started on my feet. So something just said, get on your knees and crawl up to him. And then automatically the dream voids itself of him knocking you out immediately, right? So I did that.
I saw something when Jon Jones, when you guys fought, when he came out on all fours, was that true that he was having dreams of you knocking him out and that's why he did that?
He changed everything by crawling into that motherfucking cage. The kid, that's why I call him Neo. I call him Neo of fucking MMA. And people don't understand why.
Why? Because you were visualizing yourself knocking him out?
He was supposed to get knocked out.
The biggest life lesson that I've learned is the power of the mind, and just how important it is to look at yourself at a high regard and to believe in yourself. I think in order to paint a bright future for yourself, you have to be able to see it in your mind. You have to believe in it, and the more you believe in it, the more your world will start to change, and the more you'll just start to see your beliefs come to pass. So to answer your question, just self-belief. I went from a very average thinking person, like just average 19-year-old, to I literally got on all these TED Talks and on YouTube, and I just started YouTubing videos about self-belief and what does it mean to be confident, and what does it mean to be a winner, and how do you become a winner. And I would watch hours and hours of Tony Robbins, Les Brown, and TED Talks. And I taught myself how to believe in myself and how to think that I was greater than just this kid that was a dropout who never really had great grades, never really was the starter, never was the captain of a team. I was just always kind of this average person, and overnight I taught myself that I could be great. And change myself forever. And yeah, I've always had a very strong conviction that I could be the greatest ever. And sure enough, it's just years of belief and hard work. We're here.
Like really deep, just meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are. Like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief. So I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was the shit, and believing that I could be the shit and that I could be the GOAT and be the greatest and never lose. Into like I took myself to a different place mentally, and a lot of it came from mental practice and meditation and visualization and just seeking knowledge from people who are strong believers.